Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my first impressions look slash first wear test of the brand new Nike Lebron 22. So of course this is LeBron James's 22nd signature shoe with Nike. That's absolutely insane. He's had a lot of signature shoes, and they decreased the price, which is amazing. So the previous model, the LeBron 21, was $200, and it's been $200 for the past for a long time. So 200 bucks is super duper expensive, but they actually decreased the price by 20 bucks, which is unheard of. Nike usually never does that. And so this shoe retails for 180 bucks, which is still freaking expensive, but I like how they decreased the price. So if you guys do want to cop, this is the crown jewel colorway and it's still available over at Nike. So I'll try to leave in the affiliate link in the description box. And if you do want to cop this shoe, it does help me out if you buy it through the affiliate link in the description box, or you can get it through the product pictures underneath this video, or I'll try to leave a link right over here. And also, a lot of you guys have been asking me about the socks that I've been wearing in all of my videos. So it's my brand, it's called Young Hone, and the socks are available for pre-order. So if you do order it right now, it'll take a couple of weeks to get to you guys. It's more like an athleisure sock, but I have been playing basketball in that sock. That's like my main sock, but it wasn't specifically made for basketball. You can play basketball in it, but it does have less cushion and it is a little bit thinner than a traditional basketball sock. But I want to make something a little bit more minimal, but still have nice padding comparing it to like a regular normal sock. And I want to have nice quality materials as well, and also a good looking sock too. So if you guys do want to get it, a link to that will be in the description box as well. But yeah, let's get it started off with the traction. So the traction is pretty interesting. We have these triangles, and we have the LeBron James like crown here in the forefoot and heel, and it is a decoupled outsole as well. So the forefoot and heel are separated by this kind of like piece right here. So how's the traction? So when I first got it, I was like, oh, it actually seems to be stopping pretty dang good on my wood floors. But then like 4 steps later, it was sliding around all over the dang place, right? So it just picks up so much dust. It's absolutely insane, right? So I was really sad and really disappointed in that. And I thought it was just gonna be terrible. I thought it was gonna be a dust magnet, right? But then I actually played in it today, and I played in it for a couple hours, and this shoe was breaking in a little bit, right? So I went to the gym today, and it's been really dusty on that gym, right? Usually they keep it kind of clean, but for the past couple of weeks, it's been really dusty, really dirty. So then right when I got there, it was terrible. It was picking up a lot of dust. It was just sliding around a lot, right? So I hated it, but I actually had the LeBron 21 as well. So I had the LeBron 21 on one foot and the 22 on the other foot. The 21, of course, has really nice traction. It picks up a little bit of dust and it is inconsistent, but it doesn't pick up that much dust, right? But the LeBron 22 was picking up so much dust. So that was terrible, right? But I kept playing in it, and it was actually breaking in a little bit, right? And also it's a really hard wipe right now, right? So it's not that easy to wipe off the dust. It picks up dust extremely quickly, but after like an hour of play, it got a little bit better and it was biting really well after I, wiped the shoe. So I had a really good stop for like a one play, you know what I mean, for like a couple of steps, and then it will pick up dust really quickly again. So we'll have to see on how good the dust performance is. It did get a little bit better on my first wear, so hopefully it keeps getting better and better, but right now it's still not great, right? And of course we do have a fully translucent rubber, and we have this really cool like gradient here in the heel, which I think looks cool. So yeah, I mean, on a clean court it'll probably be very nice, but dust, we have yet to see, right? As far as the durability goes, it feels like it'll be pretty dang good. The grooves are really thick and also very deep, and the rubber is pretty hard. It's not super hard, but it's pretty hard. So on an outdoor court, I feel like you should be fine. And honestly, this kind of like rubber outsole, like not the pattern, but like the grooves kind of reminds me of the LeBron Ambassador 13. You guys remember that shoe? And also, this shoe squeaks just a tiny bit. When I was playing in it today, it was really silent, but it got a little bit squeakier. So, we'll have to see on how squeaky it gets, but it kind of there's a little bit of a squeak. Of course, that has nothing to do with performance, but if you like to have a nice squeak, this shoe is not super squeaky. So there's that. Moving on to the heel to toe transition, right now it feels pretty dang nice, right? So here in the heel, we have a little bit of a rounded shape, right? But also, the Cushline 2.0 foam that they're using is slightly exposed here, like in the heel and also on the medial side a little bit. On the lateral side, it's mostly caged, but it's actually quite soft, right? There's a good amount of compression here in the heel. So just landing here in the heel feels pretty dang smooth. It doesn't feel really like clunky at all. Coming here into the forefoot, we have a nice curve shape, which does feel nice. So the overall rocker shape of the sole of the shoe is really smooth, right? And then here in the forefoot, we actually have it has a really nice bend to it, like a really nice flexible feel, but also I need to put a little bit of force into it, and then it seems to have a nice kind of springiness to it, which does feel nice. So it has a really nice smooth feel with a nice springiness to it, which felt nice when I was playing it today. So the heel to toe transition is very, very nice. And now moving on to the cushioning setup. So the cushioning setup is very similar to the Lebron 20 and the Lebron 21, right? So it's using a Zoom turbo unit in the forefoot, which is top loaded, and a large volume bottom loaded Zoom unit in the heel, and it's using full length Cushline 2.0 foam. It is heavily caged, like I said, but it's actually pretty dang nice here in the heel. Like I said, there is like a little bit of compression, and also there seems to be a little bit of springiness to it as well. Like it seems to have a little bit of a bounce from the overall Cushline, and also probably from the Zoom unit. It is bottom loaded, so you can't really feel like your foot going into the Zoom unit, but it does feel like there's a little bit of bounce. And then also, of course, from the top loaded Zoom turbo unit in the forefoot, you get a nice little bounce as well. For me personally, I always need to break it in because I'm not super heavy. So when I first, put on the shoe, I don't really feel it as much, but once I start to play in it and then break it in a little bit more, it does get a little bit bouncier. And of course, it is articulated as well, so it's designed to move with the movement of your foot rather than like a fully not articulated Zoom unit. So that feels, of course, very, very nice. I feel like most people do like Zoom Turbo. Overall court feel is okay. I would say it's around average, maybe a little bit higher than average here in the heel, but it's mostly around average for the court feel. There seems to be a little bit of an offset as well. So yeah, it's a very, very similar feel to the Lebron 21 and the Lebron 20, which of course is a good thing. The insole, they're using a regular Ortholite insole, not anything nice. And also we have this like emblem here in the heel. It's like a triangle. It says 22. But yeah, the insole isn't that nice, and we have a traditional strobe board, so it's pretty stiff here in the heel, but in the forefoot, of course, you can feel the Zoom Turbo unit, but you do have that stiffer strobe board over the Zoom Turbo unit in the forefoot. So yeah, the cushioning setup is extremely nice. And then moving on to the upper, if you read the tech specs or like the design of the Lebron 22, they say it's supposed to be the highest quality materials and all that, and I was like, but you're using synthetic leather. So I don't know, but it actually feels pretty nice though, right? So of course we have a whole bunch of holes, but it feels really soft. Like it's a really smooth feeling upper, especially here in the toe box. It conforms to your foot extremely well, and it's not stiff at all. It doesn't feel glued down. It doesn't feel cumbersome. There's no pinching at all. It's just a really comfortable upper, right? The one thing, of course, is that it's not the thinnest and also not the most minimal feeling material, which is fine, of course. If you do like a really thin textile or mesh, then the Lebron 22 isn't going to be the best option, but on foot it feels really nice. The quality also isn't terrible. Yeah, again, it is synthetic leather, so you don't expect anything amazing, but I do like how it feels on foot. But also for 180 bucks, I feel like they could have given us nicer quality leather, right? And then here on the lateral side, we have another kind of like synthetic material with this really cool pattern on it. It also has an outline of a swoosh with another swoosh here. It's like this really nice plastic, right? And we do have a nice reflective finish on it too. And then we have this kind of like saddle, right? And here in the midfoot, so that'll be good for torsional support and for overall lateral containment. And then here in the heel, we have some accords, and it's in the shape of probably LeBron James' signature. And also another thing that I like is that the cord goes underneath the outline of the swoosh here on the lateral side, as well as here on the medial side, right? For the tongue is actually pretty cool too, right? So the tongue material is pretty much like a synthetic material, but on top we have a really cool like emblem, right? So it says 22, of course, with the crown underneath it. We have this really cool like pyramid, triangular pyramid thing on for this plastic, which looks really cool. Like it's like a jewel kind of, you know, a gem. And then for the tongue as well, it does have a good amount of padding. With the stitching as well, it kind of reminds you of like a really nice sports car, you know what I mean? So that's really nice. It's also a half booty construction tongue, giving you a better overall one-to-one fit. And then here in the ankle area, it's using pretty much the same exact material as the Lebron 20 and the Lebron 21. It's a really nice memory foam type of material, which feels great, right? So yeah, I really like how it feels. It's comfortable, it feels supportive, it conforms to your foot really well. It does feel really cozy too, right? For the overall synthetic leather, for the entire upper, it feels really cozy. It's just not the thinnest and also not the most minimal feeling upper, which I don't really mind too much, you know? So there's that. Moving on to the fit. So I went true to size and the shoe fits me perfectly and like a glove, right? And it literally fits exactly like the Lebron 20 and the Lebron 21 to me. So if you know what size you are in the Lebron 21, then pretty much go the exact same size here in the 22. However, the 22 is a little bit more relaxed here in the toe box. The 21 is really snug. This one has a little bit more room, right? I can curl my toes up just a tiny bit more, but it's still a nice snug fit for me. Lengthwise, again, it's good for me going true to size. My foot goes really close to the edge of the shoe, and widthwise, it is slightly narrow, right? And also pretty much the exact same width as the Lebron 21, but again, it's just a little bit looser here in the toe box. So yeah, it's a great fitting shoe for me, going true to size. And now moving on to the support and lockdown, I mean, it felt really nice when I was playing in it today. So as far as the overall lateral containment goes, there's not like anything crazy for a lateral counter here in the forefoot, right? However, this material is pretty dang supportive, so I don't think it's gonna be anything terrible. It does feel overall supportive enough. Here in the midfoot, of course, we have this plastic coming up, acting as a sidewall, and it seems to have an internal TPU heel counter. So lateral containment feels like it'll be very good, and obviously, LeBron needs that, right? And also another thing that they did for the first time ever in a LeBron shoe is they added an outrigger. Look at how freaking wide this shoe is. You guys remember the whole LeBron 15 debacle? Remember, it had no outrigger, and then LeBron James rolled his ankle in the LeBron 15, and then they added an outrigger in his PEs, but then for the consumers, right, we didn't get that. You know, so anyways, yeah, we have a very sharp and very wide outrigger here in the forefoot. You guys can see just how freaking wide it is. So that'll be good for lateral stability, which I really like. And I'm not really experiencing any type of heel slippage or anything like that. So yeah, the overall support and lockdown feels like it'll be very good. And now moving on to the weight of the shoe. I don't know. I feel like this shoe is going to be around 13 ounces, 13 point something. It doesn't feel super light, right? But it also doesn't feel crazy heavy. So yeah, it comes in at 13.85 ounces. Let's check the other shoe. 13.95 ounces. So pretty close to 14 ounces, and that is pretty dang heavy. That kind of sucks because the LeBron 21, I believe, was like around average weight, right? So that probably has to do with the synthetic leather. You know what I mean? Like it is a little bit thicker, but it gives it a little bit more like coziness, which I do like. And it doesn't feel super duper heavy, you know what I mean? And it felt pretty dang responsive once I got really good stops. You know, I was getting some really good wipes in, but then of course it was picking up dust really quickly again, so that kind of sucked, right? So there is the weight there. Moving on to the aesthetics, it looks pretty good. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like I like the LeBron 21 a little bit better. It's on and off. I feel like I like both equally, and then my favorite is definitely the LeBron 20. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, I don't know, we'll have to see. I mean, this shoe is overall feeling really nice. I'm loving the cushion, I'm loving the upper, the support feels really nice, the fit is great for me as well. But the only thing is going to be the traction. How is the traction going to break in, right? So again, it did get better. You know, I played in it for a couple of hours today, and then it got better after like an hour. You know what I mean? Like it did get a little bit better though. You know, not a lot better. So again, we'll have to see on how that breaks in. Hopefully it gets better and better. But if it stops getting better right now, it's not good. You know what I mean? It picks up dust extremely quickly, and it's affected by dust a lot. Like I was sliding around a lot, and then it's a really hard wipe too. So but yeah, if it does get better and picks up a little bit less dust, then I'm pretty sure I'm really gonna enjoy playing this shoe. And also another added bonus that I really like is that they decreased the price by 20 bucks, right? So that about concludes my first impressions look on the Nike Lebron 22. Again, if you guys do want to cop a, try to leave the free link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.